Good afternoon. This is Anchor of Truth again. I'm standing up. So, a little bit about me. I had back surgery in October. So, I can't really sit down for like more than 15 minutes and I get uncomfortable sitting down. So, I'm going to probably move around. I'm trying not to be all spastic, but I do talk with my hands. But what I want to talk about right now is the importance of self reflection and being able to self reflect in a world that's constantly making you think only about yourself and how you benefit from other people or what you can get from other people. That's not going to go well. It goes well for some people, but then it does not go well because if you cannot actually be critical or self-reflect, look at yourself in the mirror and say there's a few things wrong with me and I need to improve them. And that's the first step is you got to be honest with yourself. Honesty is what will help you progress and move forward no matter what it is. I mean, you got to be honest. If you're screwed up and you have a bad temper like I do sometimes, you have to work on that. If you have anger, you have to work on that. It could be anything. It could be fear. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of something or are you just afraid of being afraid? These are things that I don't know if a lot of people think about it or talk about it, or if they look at themselves in the mirror and say, I really need to fix myself. And the only person that's going to be able to fix myself is myself first, you know, and it's a great way to improve yourself. And then when you improve yourself, you may improve the lives of other people around you, and it may be a positive impact in a good way, a good positive impact. You may inspire people, like who knows? You may inspire people, you may make people see what you're doing, and then they're going to follow suit, and you'll be somewhat of a leader in a way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the first step is being able to reflect on what you need to fix about yourself. And this is probably not going to be very popular because nobody likes to admit their faults. Nobody likes to admit when they're wrong. Everyone wants to be right all the time, and they don't want to listen to anything or anyone that could have good input or insight on what's going on, and sometimes that means you've got to humble yourself, you know. Having self-respect does not mean that you think you're better than everyone. It just means that you have respect for yourself, and that when you respect yourself, you will carry yourself a certain way. And when you carry yourself a certain way, people will react to you in a certain way. And if you carry yourself in a good way, a good positive way, and in a leadership kind of way where you say what you mean and you mean what you say, things may go a lot easier for you. And, a lot of that comes from self reflection. And a lot of this is just stuff that I'm going to talk about that I've gone through in my life. I'm not going to air all my dirty laundry or whatever, but, nobody's perfect. No one. There's something wrong with everybody, you know, and that's just the way life is. And you have to do the best with what you have. And part of the first steps of doing that is self-reflection. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I've done wrong. Now I need to do right. And then holding yourself accountable to do what's right. And it shouldn't matter if anyone is paying attention to you or not. You're doing what's right because it is the right thing to do. And that's the only option. You have no option to do the wrong thing. You should only have the option to do the right thing, even though it may be difficult and hard. But again, self-reflection is very important. And if you guys have opinions or questions or anything, please ask. I may have a good answer. I may not have a good answer. I may have to get back to you. But, the only way that I'm going to know is if you guys respond. So like and subscribe and comment for more. I'll catch you next time. Bye.